Let's see, are we live? Can y'all see me? Where are we? Y'all bear with me for a second because I can't see my damn self. I'm supposed to be live, but I can't see the live stream. There we go. We're about to go live now. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So come on back in, guys. We here. All right, come on back in. We're here, guys. We're here. Can y'all see me? Can we try it again? Can we do it again? You know, YouTube get to messing with the streams when I'm on a roll, when I'm chopping it up. You know, they get to messing with it. Yeah, man, y'all, it gets to freezing up. Yeah, so y'all know what it is. So, you know, y'all know what you know how they get down. You know how they do, as my brother Nipsey used to say. You know how they do. Yeah? We know how they do. Hold on one second. Why is it acting like a goddamn fool again? Who's this texting me? You know, I got an app. There's an app that I got. Janky ass app. Hold on. Hold on one second. I got this app where you buy clothes and you get a lot of, I guess the clothes come here from China, wherever. And these clothes are so damn small. Chinese people are very, you know, they're, because I try to even get them bigger. I try to get like a 4X, and them shits feel like a damn size 28 on a nigga. So I hate those little janky sites that's, what's the name of it? I'm going to tell y'all the name of this little website. They got real, you know, cheap shit on there. I'm like, oh, cool, all right. They're like, it's called Wish. And I wish they get their ass on somewhere. Because the site is janky. They sell real, I'm like, okay, yeah, they got like 50% off on all these clothes, and the clothes look fly. I'm like, oh, shit. I'll get that. It's Wish. That's the app, Wish. Yeah, the clothes, and I mean, you can buy little electronics, and because it's like they had a lot of electronic stuff on there. I'm like, oh, cool, like little iPhone, just little bitty shit. I'm like, oh, cool, like $3 for a little iPad, a little iPhone charger. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah. And then I started, because that's what I got it for. You know, they had like little electronic little gadgets. And I'm like, oh, little shit for the house. I can rock with that. And then I saw they had clothes. I'm like, oh, let me see what kind of, give me like some little pajama pants, you know, stuff to bullshit around in the house. This is some cheap knockoff ass bullshit. And the pants, don't buy no clothes from this bullshit, dude. Don't buy no clothes from this. And I'm like, because I know, you know, I said, okay, some of this shit look like it's coming from Asia. So let me get a couple of like 2 or 3 sizes bigger. So I got like some 5X sweatpants. I put them bitches on. I look like a bullfighter. Like, if this shit, I let one of my kids wear that shit. It's horrible. Oh, I hate that, man. Don't get nothing from them. Don't get nothing from them. That place has very bad reviews. I can see why. This little bitty ass moist shit. Hey, get the hell on out. Yeah, it's tight, dude. I'm like, what is it? It's all baggy, you know. Motherfuckers posing. It's all baggy in the pictures. I'm like, well, who'd you get? You got a midget to model these bitches? They look baggy as shit on him. Damn. So I'm good on that, man. Anyway, what else is happening? You know, Dog the Bounty Hunter His wife, is it Beth, the big-breasted hillbilly? She's like in an induced coma, so she's on her deathbed. She has cancer, and he's asking for prayer. Dog the Bounty Hunter is asking for prayer. So y'all, this is the prayer we're going to give him, some old goon, because I don't give a damn. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yes, oh well, and I've had, we talked about this on social media. They're like, oh, don't be mean, nigga. Fuck him. Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne, Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman, he and some other co-defendants, they killed a black man, an elderly black man, Jerry Oliver, back in the 1970s. They killed this black man. It was a racial killing. Even in the depositions, in the documents, they were talking about, yeah, this nigga, this, and that nigga, that. So they killed this black man. And Dog basically, he got a slap on the wrist for murdering this black man. So I never forget, he ain't going nowhere with that. I ain't never gonna forget that. And what all the shit that's happening to his family has always been karma. His family's been going through hell ever since. He can kiss my ass. They killed an innocent black man, and the system of white supremacy helped give them a pass, and they've given this dude all types of shows, even after he had that racist rant years ago, spewing that anti-black filth, and they still give that man shows. Now his wife is riddled with cancer, and I say, oh, goon. That ain't nothing but oh, goon. I ain't praying for him. See, this whole thing about the forgiving Negro, this generation ain't going to do that. We're going to stop that now. We're going to, yeah. We're going to stop that now. These old Jim Clyburn and John Lewis type of Negroes, we're going to have to get those types out of our system. That old forgiving Sambo. All of them are white supremacists, all of those dudes. But, come here, baby. Come here. My wife, y'all come see my wife. Come here and say hi. Come here, Lexi. Come here. Come here to say hi, real quick. Come on, say hi. Come, there. Come on in. What's happening? Come here, say hi.
No, what am I got on?
Show them your braids. I know you dress funny style. Why is my shit acting funny? Okay, say what's happening because my stream is acting funny. Say what's up. There you go. Oh, look at this here. Where's his pants? Okay, he come with Siri with no pants on. What's up, Siri?
I told you, you don't follow me.
What's up, Mateo?
No, get in this house.
Come here, Mateo. Come here.
Mateo, say hi.
Say hi.
Oh, wow.
Mateo's dressed like a Dominican plumber. I feel to say. I feel it. Oh, you dressed like a Dominican plumber.
Can you see his?
I can't see. I see the plumber. It stop up. It stop.
Can you see him?
No, well, I don't want to
In the camera.
put his wee up. You need some pants. What's up, T? Say what's up. Say hi, Miss. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
There you go. Say what up, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Say hi.
What's up? Say hi, Siri.
Can't see nothing.
I know.
Hi. Oh. Look at his face. You can't see nothing.
What's up? Put Siri face over here.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, I'm freezing. Damn, I'm freezing. It's freezing. Oh, bless you. Okay, why am I freezing?
It's a
Cool.
Okay, why is this thing freezing? God damn it, this shit. The speed be acting funny. Yeah, tacos would be cool. Go ahead and take it in. Go ahead and take it in. Okay, go with mommy, guys.
Yeah, I got my papers.
Yeah, I printed them. That's it. Yeah.
I printed it out.
There you go. Baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Halloween.
Thank you, Miss Linda. All right, let's take them out of here. Yeah, put that sword down, T. Because I don't want y'all beating each other in the house with them. No. Mateo, put that down. What's up? What's up? Well, why your head all over? You take a shower? You gotta take a bath? What's
Looking
up?
like who that? Come on.
Did they shower?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, they messing with my stream over here, but it's all good. Stream is good. We good. Okay. The stream is good. Okay. But what was I saying? I was talking about John Lewis and Clyburn. John Lewis and Clyburn. Joe Biden has been out here spewing his white supremacist BS, and they've sent the Negroes within the Democratic Party, the old-time plantation minions, to cape for him. Joe Biden is basically trying to pander to the white supremacist voters. They're gonna start getting those moderates. They're gonna start pandering to those soft shoe white supremacists, and even hard ones too. But Joe Biden is giving props and praises to segregationalists, old white supremacists basically. He's using coded language, and people see what it is. So now they done sent Clyburn and John Lewis to Cape. Well, we work with peoples. We work with different peoples. Let me find a clip of these Sambos. And they had them cooning back to back. Let me find the clip of it. Hold on. This is Clyburn. They got Clyburn, and let me play him real quickly. Hold on one second. Let me play Clyburn. Uncle Jim Clyburn. Hold on one second. Where we at? Where is it? All right. So this is Clyburn right here. Hold on. Let's play it again.
Celebrate races. Do you think he was celebrating a racist?
No, come on. When you celebrate your ability to work with a racist, you celebrate the racist. That's what I like saying. I enjoy being able to work with Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I don't celebrate anybody who is, but I work with them.
And we had to put the slave music in the back. And don't the slave music just go right along with that Negro? We had to put some slave music. The slave music goes right along with his ass. These are the most shameless bootlicking Negroes you ever want to meet. And then John Lewis. Let me find the clip of him. Where's the John Lewis clip? Hold on. Let me find John Lewis. They had him saying the same thing. Yeah, using the same basic talking points. Using the same basic ass talking points. Where is he? There it is. Okay. Let me go to my gram. Okay. Let me play John Bojangles Lewis. Hold on, where's that? Instagram. There we go. All right. Now let me play John.
The remarks are offensive. During the height of the civil rights movement, we worked with people and got to know people. There was members of the Klan, people who opposed us, even people who beat us, arrested us, and jailed us. We never gave up on our fellow human being. And I would not give up on any human being.
Because he spoke.
The remarks are offensive.
Oh Lord!
But during the height of the civil rights
So y'all see they done gave these Negroes the same talking points. So they had them the same around the same time, coming out spewing the same Sambo. It was Sambo de Mayo. That was the holiday. The holiday was Sambo de Mayo. It was spewing the same talking points. Well, Joe Biden, he works with racists, and we work with racists in the civil rights movement. We work with the Klan. We is not going to give up on people. Boy, these Negroes are shameless. These Negroes are shameless. And understand this. I hate when they run around showing pictures of John Lewis talking about he's a black leader. John Lewis is not a black leader. In black people, we got to start correcting the dominant society. Whenever they start talking about some of these people are black leaders, every time you hear that word, as a matter of fact, you better go on alert. When you hear the word black leader, go on alert. Because these are people that they pushed out there to push their agenda. Black leaders, damn near an oxymoron. And we're white supremacist victims. We're victims of the white supremacists. We're not leading anybody. That's why I tell people, they always try to put that label on me. I ain't no damn black leader. These white supremacists can come and wipe me out at any moment. Now, when we going toe-to-toe against these white supremacists for real, then we can start talking about who's going to lead the charge and all that old stuff. But all of us should be leaders as far as that. But when they start running around talking about John Lewis as a damn black leader, they love docile, submissive Negroes like that. Because understand, that ass whooping that John Lewis got in Selma, which is the reason why he always talks about it. He talks about it all the time because that ass whooping is very significant, not only because that's his only real accomplishment. That ass whooping he got beat him into submission. That ass whooping in Selma beat him into submission. Let me tell you something. John Lewis was buck dancing back then in the 60s. When he was with the SNCC organization, you had riders like Stokely Carmichael. Now, that brother was a rider. Stokely Carmichael was a rider. When they started talking about black empowerment, oh, God, come on, this thing is freezing. I'm sorry, it's freezing. But like I said, people like Stokely Carmichael, that was a rider. That was a rider. Now, when they started talking about things like black power and black empowerment, the scared Negroes like John Lewis got ghosts. I want y'all to look at this clip, and I put this up on my gram. I want y'all to look at this clip. This is John Lewis in an interview where he talked about leaving the SNCC organization. Listen to this. Hold on. Let me play this real quickly. Come on, thing. Goddamn. All these windows up on my thing. Goddamn. Come on. Here we go. All right.
Until finally everyone together was thundering, black power, black power. And that was chilling, that was frightening.
It scared people because they did not understand they could not subtract violence from power. They could only see power as a violent instrument accompanying it.
It was empty rhetoric. It was not a message. And the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee had a rich history of being involved in programmatic efforts and not just the use of slogan. It was at that point, during that march, that I made a decision to leave the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
The cause of black equality will be decided.
See that? You see that? Hold on, let me get that. So you heard that? John Lewis said, boy, when they would start talking that black power, oh, he gathered up his butter biscuits and bounced. Oh, Lord. Black power? Oh, Lord Jesus. This ain't good trouble. I just don't want to get in no good trouble no more. Now, when you fighting for everybody else, are you all in? John Lewis, when that shooting down in Orlando at the gay club, oh, John Lewis is out there with the rainbow flag. Oh, John Lewis is right there with the flag. He's out there out there hugging little Mexicans. Oh, we's gonna get in good trouble, little Harvier. Oh, Lord Jesus, little Mexican baby, little old Ronaldo. You remind me of Selma. Give me some of that corn. So that corn looked like a billy club they used on me in Selma. Boy, he's out there with everybody. But nigga, when they were talking about black power, hey, let's get some shit for us. Oh, this too much. I didn't sign up for this. Lord, the feet don't fail me now. Goddamn Sambo. He ain't none of our leader. He ain't our leader. This dude capes for everybody. Out there, wasn't he out there in Standing Rock? Out there, was it Standing Rock? Out there with the Indians, the Native Americans, he's out there. Wasn't he up there in a teepee eating some damn baked chicken? Tonto, this remind me of Selma! He out there in a fucking teepee. Anything else, he's out there. They were out there fucking with some Eskimos. This nigga out there in an igloo with some barbecue baked chicken. It's cold out here. It's so cold. Remind me of the Cold Billy Club from Selma. This nigga is everywhere everybody else is. But the minute, hey, let's get some black power. Oh, Lord, that's too much. Lord Jesus. Black power? Lord, I've got to go. This nigga, that was the thing, that was the last straw. Black power, that wasn't gonna cut it. That nigga got me fuck out of Dodge. Everything else, you out there in the forefront. But black power, hell no. This ain't what I signed up for. Oh my God. These are the kind of coons that they wheel out talking about they're our damn leader. Man, please, somebody say, they were telling me, you shouldn't disrespect him. He's an elder. That nigga ain't none of my damn elder. He ain't none of my goddamn elder. John Lewis is not my elder at all. He has failed black society. That ass whooping he got beat him into submission. That shit beat him, and he lost all memory before Selma. He don't know what else happened before Selma. They beat his memory out. That nigga don't know who he is or what he is. He don't remember nothing. That's why he keep talking about Selma. He don't remember anything that happened before Selma. They beat his memory away. God damn. But yeah, I'm cool on that dude, man. I'm cool. And the thing, this is another thing too. With Negroes like John Lewis and all these folks, and the Congressional Black Caucus, and they put up a tweet the other day, the Congressional Black Caucus. Let me show y'all this tweet they put up, because I put this on my gram too. Let me show y'all what they put up. Let me show a window capture of this real quick. Let me show y'all this. Where we at? Okay. Look at this. This Congressional Black Caucus posted this. We're proud to be with the Virginia Museum to commemorate the 400-year anniversary of forced African migration to the U.S. This is what they put up. I want to show this. I'm showing y'all what they put up. Forced African migration to the U.S. Are these Negroes on the pipe? The hell are y'all talking about? You see the kind of Negroes that we're dealing with? Forced African migration. You see who the puppet masters are with these Negroes. That's them boule ass Negroes. Forced migration? What the hell is that? You mean slavery? See, those are white supremacist talking points that they've given them. See, they've been trying to erase the word slavery because when you say slavery, somebody has to be if somebody's a slave, that means they're a victim of somebody else. The word slave has victim in it. That's why they've been trying to get away from the word slavery because they don't never supposed to show black people as victims because when somebody they're victimized, you're supposed to compensate victims. Victims are supposed to be compensated. They're very slick with their words. So forced migration, see, migration, it doesn't have victim in it. Migration, it sounds voluntary. They'll throw forced on there. See, forced migration, that don't make there's no such thing. One word cancels the other. One word cancels the other. You're forced to migrate. No, if you're forced to migrate, you're stolen. So if I go to a store and put some shit in my pocket and walk out, I can't say, man, you look, man, that radio was forced migration. No, nigga, you stole it. No, nigga, you're going to have to pay for what you stole. You see the wordplay they try to use? I hop in your car and drive off after I break the lock and bust in the steering wheel and take your shit. Well, your car had a forced migration to my garage. It was a forced migration. You mean you stole my shit? No. It wasn't stealing. It was forced. I forced and I migrated. It's a contradiction that sounds stupid. It sounds stupid. They're trying to rewrite history. You watch these Negroes because the Congressional Black Caucus, they're the ones, these boule niggas who are talking down on reparations. Another thing they said, forced migration to the U.S. That's another lie. There's that one sentence has about 3 lies attached to the sentence. There's 3 lies in the whole sentence. The third one, the forced migration to the U.S. We were not forced to the U.S. We were not brought to the U.S. We didn't migrate to the U.S. We were not taken to the U.S. See, we got to be very clear about that. We weren't even kidnapped to the U.S. Because the thing is, the U.S. didn't exist when we got here. So we got to clean that up. When we got here, there was no U.S. This is how we got to put the shit out there. Because when we say we came to the U.S., that almost puts us in the same boat as immigrant groups. We ain't in the same group as them. They came to the U.S. We came to a landmass where we had to build the damn U.S. There was no U.S. until we built it. That's the thing that will always differentiate us from other groups. You came from somewhere that was shitty and then got better. We came from somewhere that was cool and then had to build another place. Ain't nobody else on the level that we're on. They ain't like us. There was no U.S. until we built it. Always make that point and clear that up with folks. They try to be slick with their words. Don't let them try to put us in the same box, because that's what they wanted. The Congressional Black Caucus is an immigration advocacy group. That's all it is. You can't point to one single solitary thing the Congressional Black Caucus has ever done for black folks since they've been since the 1970s. They've done nothing for black people. They've done a ton for immigrants and all these other groups, and that's what they're designed for. They've done nothing for us. They're an immigrant advocacy group. There's nothing black about them but the name and the coons that are employed by the white supremacists who run it. There's nothing black about them whatsoever. Nothing. And then another thing, they'll try to say, well, the Native Americans were over here and they're equal to you guys. That's not even true. Let's be very clear about that too. Now let's be clear. The Native Americans, they didn't have any real input in the building of the United States. Let's be clear about that. The Native Americans really didn't have any input on the building of the United States. They didn't. And they were compensated for being misplaced and moved around on their land, but they didn't really have any type of impact on the building of the United States. That's all us. That's all black Americans do. See, they can try to play dumb. They'll even try to be slick and, well, the Irish built it. Well, when they bring up the Irish, boy, I'll be waiting for them to bring up the Irish so I can just cut all that bullshit down. The Irish didn't build shit. But bars to come drink. They didn't build a damn thing. Because they couldn't physically do it. The Irish couldn't do it. You had some indentured servants, and after they worked off their indentured servitude, they got paid, they got their little money, and many of them became overseers, but they didn't build nothing like that. And another thing, they've been compensated. Yes, they have. They've been compensated. And another thing, with these, many of them came over as immigrants. They were indentured servants. But all these immigrant groups, understand, when all of these immigrant groups came over, even back then, it was black people who got these folks, nurtured them, dusted them off, got them straight, and then they risen up and turned on us. From day one, we built this nation, and I'm talking about we cleared the brush, build the roads, build the railroads. That's another thing. They try to say the Chinese built the railroads. Do you know black folks built these railroads? Not only because it was the slave labor that paid for these railroads, Northwest, all these CX, all of these railroad companies, these big railroad companies, all of this came from slave money. The black people literally built these railroads for free. Black people were building these railroads for free. From the ground up, it was nothing there. And then they try to give credit to Chinese. The Chinese, they just expanded the railroads when they started to go west, and they got paid for it. So that was a come up for them. They got paid, so they flocked over here because wasn't shit popping over there. The British was already dominating them. So they get their ass whooped over there by the British and wasn't nothing popping over there. So they hopped on boats and got over here with the quickness and started building on what was already built here and expanding on what was already built here. Yeah, the whole John Henry thing, they bragged about how hard the black workers were. The John Henry legend came from that. Brothers hitting those iron rods. Man, you needed muscle for that. You needed workers for that. You needed strong people to build that. You did? But all these groups would come over, and they couldn't live in white society. So these people were dumped off into black society, and we accepted folks. We accepted the Irish. Understand, in places like Seneca Village up there in New York, a lot of those white immigrants would come over from Europe and live around black folks, and we would take them to church and clean them up and feed them and clothe them. Then they'd turn around and get their weight up and then flip on us. It's been like that from day one. That's why we're going to have to stop that. But we taking the capes off everybody. It's time to take the capes all the way off. Yeah? But, excuse me, the people who we are allies for, black folks, we do all this caping for the LGBT organizations. You see black folks running out here. I'll be your ally. I'm out here with you. I'm fighting for you. The Hispanic community, I'm your ally. I'm out here fighting for you. Out there at Standing Rock, there was so many black folks out there with the Native Americans, a lot of black folks out there. We your ally. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. We out here allying for everybody. All of these groups, anything going on with them, we out there helping them. Asian people come over here, it's mostly black people up in their shops. It's black people at their restaurants. All these groups come over here, we're in the front lines, caping for them. Now, notice they didn't have these reparations hearings. Black folks are running around, we're talking about reparations. Notice all of these groups we've been caping for, none of them coming out and supporting us. Notice that, don't miss that. What's up, sweetie? Where you about to go? Okay. Notice that. What's up? What's up, Tail? Is Tail going with you?
Yeah.
Okay, you going with sister? What's up, Tail? Come here, Tail, real quick. Tail. Come here, Tail.
We hungry.
I know. Where y'all getting to get tacos from? What you eating, Tail? Tail, what are you eating? But Tail, what are you eating?
You know the window in there.
What are you eating?
Mommy.
What are you eating?
Mommy.
What are you eating? What are you eating?
Hi, what are you eating? What's that? Mateo, what's that?
Okay,
He's acting like
he's
he
acting
is
like a
antsy,
baby.
real whiny.
All right. All right, sorry about that.
Mateo, what are you eating? What's this?
All right, but like I said, family, listen what I'm saying. All these groups, none of them are coming out supporting us with our reparations pleas. None of them. We've been out here getting our brains knocked out for them. All right, we want some for us. Not one of them. None of them are coming out supporting us as far as reparations. In fact, if they do say something, they're talking against it. If they do say something, what are you looking for? If they do say something about reparations, they're talking down on it. They're talking against it if they say something, and they ain't saying nothing. And you think we're supposed to put the damn cape on for all these people? You think we're supposed to put the cape on for these people? And unfortunately, even some of the Negro immigrants have been talking down on it too. Some of the Negro immigrants have been talking down. Whenever you see a black person saying, man, we don't need no reparations, a lot of times it's one of these Negro immigrants. We're going to have to keep it real. Some of these Negroes, they're going to have to be filtered out. Some of these immigrant coons, they're going to have to be filtered out. You dig? These Negroes are a problem, family. These Negroes are a problem. Watch the Negroes around us, just like that Negro who was on that hearing. He's an immigrant coon, comes from a Puerto Rican family. We got to watch that. And I'm going to do a broadcast probably this week breaking down these anchor baby Negroes. I'm going to have to do a whole broadcast breaking down that. We're going to have to really get deep about that. I'm going to have to do a whole separate broadcast about that, family. But a lot of these Negroes who are immigrants sitting over here talking about, man, we ain't trying to throw that we in there. Man, we might as well leave reparations alone. We ain't gonna never get no reparations. That ain't gonna happen. Man, we ain't gonna get no reparations ever. Let me tell you something. We can get whatever we want to damn get if we focus on it. We can get whatever we want to get if we focused on it. If we focus on reparations primarily and that's it, we'll get reparations. I promise you we'll get that. All you got to do is focus on it. That's all you got to do. The problem is, the minute white folks give you any kind of pushback, a lot of Negroes get scared. Oh, Lord, I just don't want to get in trouble. We got to get that out of our system. We got to get that out of our system. You understand? Because a lot of these Negroes, we ain't gonna never get it. It ain't gonna happen. We just might as well leave it alone. These are Negroes. Your family failed in your home country. Y'all niggas failed over there where you're from. Y'all failed. And that's why y'all bounced. Y'all bounced. Not all of you, but many of you bounced because it just wasn't popping. You failed and you were defeated over there 100%. And you didn't want to stay and whoop ass and build it back up. You were defeated and you're bringing your same defeatist mentality over here to us and trying to poison us with that bullshit. Niggas was defeated. And you listen to some of these immigrant coons, these niggas sound defeated. And you defeated and you surrendered to white mommy and white daddy, and you try to coax us into not stepping to white mommy and white daddy. No, that's something. I know it's an ouchie. That's an ouchie, but we have to speak truth to power. That's an ouchie. I know that's an ouchie, but we got to speak truth to power. We got to see when some of these niggas are coming over here among us trying to blend in, and these niggas are extra poisonous because they don't identify with us. So they have no problem throwing us under the bus to get their own butter biscuits. They failed in their country, so they don't mind shitting on us so they can get individual butter biscuits for themselves. They done did that back home with the people they know and people they grew up around for centuries. We're foreigners to them in their mind, just like with Obama, if we're going to be honest. Black Americans are foreigners to Obama. Obama didn't really correspond with black Americans. That's why he needed Michelle. Michelle was his street cred. The shit Obama did to us was vitriolic. The benign neglect. You understand? But we got to watch these Negroes. I saw something, and I posted this on my gram the other day. Some of these blavity blacks, some of these Negroes, many of them work for the Root, and we done told y'all about them. They did a video where they framed it as millennials watch iconic black films for the first time. This is how they're framing it. And many of these Negroes work for the Root and Huffington Post and all of these white organizations, these white media outlets. They're these blavity black shea butter niggas. And many of them are immigrants. Most of these guys are really immigrants. So that's not what they're really saying. They're trying to frame it as them not being in touch with these iconic black films because they're millennials. That's how they're trying to frame it. But the real reason they're not in touch with these films is because they're immigrants, and culturally they've been told to disassociate from certain black things. Let me play this real quick. A little bit of it, not all of it. Hold on.
I like my blackness with a little bit of hot Cheeto.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm Dickzilla, and today I'm watching Poetic Justice for the first time.
Hi everyone, I'm Chantal, and the movie that I will be watching for the first time is Belly.
I'm Domati Pongo, and I am watching Coming to America.
Hi, I'm Taryn, and I will be watching A Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Hi, my name is Jameer, and I will be reacting to Waiting to Exhale.
Hello, my name is Julius, and I will be seeing The Best Man today. I've never seen The Best Man because I know it's going to suck.
When this came out and I was a shorty, we were not checking for Coming to America, man. I'm a first generation West African, Ghanaian, and I ain't never heard of Zamunda.
I have not seen this film for a few reasons. One, I was a child.
Oh.
I just always remember seeing the car scene. And
Okay, now I want y'all to catch that. They're trying to play it off like I was too young to see these movies. That's BS right there.
And Angela Bassett burning that gentleman's BMW. And I was like, maybe this is not a movie for me.
I haven't seen this film because, honestly, there hasn't been a reason for me to do it. I mean, I've seen Baby Boy. I feel like it has the same premise.
I've never seen Poetic Justice because I grew up, I would say, a little bougie.
I couldn't interrupt elementary school and be like, hey,
Bougie means like she's in Jack and Jill or something like that, huh?
Peach, I can't make PE because I'm going to go see Belly.
Yeah, I mean, it looks overrated. It looks overrated to me. Wow, this got the black actors of like the Black Avenger actors.
It's already starting bogus. Like, I hate that miscellaneous African music they play, like, it all, like, random drums, and it's like, the lion sleeps tonight, whatever.
Okay, enough of this. So y'all get the premise. Y'all get what they're trying to show. So basically, they're watching these movies and low-key shitting on them. And they're trying to play it off like they were just too young. That ain't it. Let me tell you something. That's bullshit. Because no matter how young you are, some of these movies are so iconic, your family watches these movies on a regular basis. So even if you're a kid, you got a family member who's sitting up watching Coming to America. Everybody, I don't care how young you are, you've seen Coming to America, especially if you're their age. You've seen Coming to America. You've seen Poetic Justice. Your family will have that playing around. Your families would at least be watching reruns of it. You understand? No matter how young you are. My daughter is 20. Well, she's going to be 20 this year. So she's seen all this stuff. When the movies came out, she was a child. But she's seen it because I've seen it. She sat home and watched television with me. So the reason why it ain't about no damn millennial. The reason why some of these folks ain't never seen these movies because they had these African coon parents or these Caribbean coon parents who told them to stay away from Akata stuff. Don't watch that Akata. Don't watch Akata. That's what it is. It's your coon parents telling you not to sit up there indulging in Akata black shit. That's why you haven't seen it. So don't sit up and act like you all young and, oh, Lord, I ain't seen this because I was a baby. No, your coon parents told you to stay away from it. And one girl tried to play it off, well, I was bougie. No, your parents were coons. See, she tried to clean that up. Well, I grew up kind of bougie. Give me a break. Man, you got little kids who can quote some of these movies because their families watch it. You dig? There's certain, like Friday, there's just certain movies that are classics, all-time classics in black households. You understand? Just like in white society. In white society, they've all seen Gone with the Wind. They've all seen... shit, Footloose. They love Footloose. That's one thing. White people love some goddamn Footloose. I learned that a long time. White people love... I go to white folks' house and they be having the Footloose DVD in there. Like, what the fuck y'all be doing? Y'all be in there dancing like a motherfucker when there ain't no niggas around. But there's certain movies that all black folks just know. If you're a black American, Name some of the movies that we all just know. Purple Rain, Harlem Nights, Coming to America, Friday. Everybody has the first Friday especially. New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, The Color Purple. God, there's certain movies that we just rock with. We just know. Yeah. Set It Off, of course. Classics. Yeah, West Side Story. They all know that. White people know. Going with the Wind, West Side Story. They know it. These movies came out decades ago, and they still know it. They still understand all the references. Yeah. But those Negroes sitting there, the only reason they haven't seen those movies is because those Mammy Sambo parents told them to stay away from that Akata stuff. Oh, no, Boys in the Hood. What is, no, the Boys in the Hood, no. You don't watch an Akata. No, you don't watch that. You go watch a good movie like Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Yeah. Man. But, and that's not for all. I'm just talking about the coons that come over. They ain't for all my immigrant brothers and sisters. We all got love, but I'm talking about those coons who come over. Love is love. But the thing is, we got a lot of coonery going on, especially from certain immigrant groups. They haven't helped us. As a matter of fact, they've been blatantly against us. And now, earlier this weekend, they announced that there were going to be ICE raids. With the immigration, they're going to start raiding people's houses and people who were over here illegally and they went to court. Basically, people who didn't go to court or something, they were going to start hitting up people and just getting them up out of here. And they started targeting a few people. And there was a big outcry from the left, the Democrats. Boy, they were all scrambling. The humanity. We cannot, how did we let our country get so low? Oh my God, this is Nazi Germany. I thought, okay. Where was all this energy and black people out here getting slaughtered every damn day? We've been telling y'all this was Nazism when we were getting shot and everybody wanted to ignore us. We're telling y'all, hey man, these white supremacists are getting bold. They're killing us like crazy with impunity. And all these people are telling us, well, look, nigga, if you just comply, all you got to do is comply. We're telling you, hey man, these folks are murdering our babies. Well, look, if you learn how to act right, I mean, if you just follow the law, just stop resisting. Okay, all right. And now they're rounding people up and throwing them out. Oh, God. These are like concentration camps. Oh, my God, this is horrible. How did we get so low as a country, as a nation? Where's the morality? No. Don't start that now. Where's Dr. Martin Luther King's quotes? No. Y'all going to have to hold your own nuts. You're going to have to hold your own nuts on that one. Don't come over here looking to black folks wanting us to fight for you. And I've been tweeting this. Don't ask black people to fight for you. Don't ask black people to put the cape on for you. Don't ask black people to go out here and start yelling at the white supremacists. No. Hold your own nuts. We ain't fighting for you. You're going to have to hold your own nuts. Because number one, a lot of people are coming over here. They're coming over here joining right along with the white supremacists against us. So don't look at us. We've been telling you to get some of your folks. We've been saying, hey, we supposed to be all black and brown. Why don't y'all do something about your boy Zimmerman? How come y'all ain't saying nothing about Zimmerman? Look at all these race soldiers with these Spanish last names shooting us. Yanez. Look at all these race soldiers with these Spanish last names killing us out here. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Look at the Hispanic gangs out here in LA trying to run up on civilians. Don't come looking at us now. Don't come looking at us now. And some people want to get mad. Some cats. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I got black and brown friends. We're together. No. Now you do. You didn't have it last week. You didn't have it last week. You're going to have to hold your own nuts. Not only that, you better understand who some of the people were who voted for Trump, by the way, because many of y'all voted for him. Many of you voted for him. See, the Hispanic community, y'all got to hold your own nuts on that one. There was a black Hispanic who got on the damn reparations board talking about we don't need no damn reparations. He tried to hide his last name. His last name is Cruz. So a brother with Hispanic heritage just got on national television talking about what the hell we don't need. He said, well, if we get reparations, we acting like victims. Well, I'm too victimized to help y'all. All right, I can't help you. I'm over here being a victim. I can't help nobody. I can't do nothing. Many of these Hispanics, y'all were voting for Trump, especially down there in Florida. Y'all were voting for Trump. Out here, they had Mexicans for Trump. A lot of folks were voting for Trump, trying to be team white supremacy. Then y'all got to hold your nuts. I can't put the cape on for you. We tried to warn you. Yeah? We tried to warn you. You dig? Yeah, don't come around with the black-brown coalition now. Nah. Y'all gonna be all right. I mean, y'all can't. I mean, basically what they're doing, making you go back home. So don't try to start comparing yourself to what we got going on. This is our home here. They're just making you go back home. Go back home and get it together. Go and build your own home up. Yeah? Because I'm not putting on the cape for nobody. I'm not putting on the cape for nobody. We've done enough. And I posted some of this on my Instagram, and one dude in the comments section, he was like, well, Tariq, you live in LA. I don't know why you saying that. You should thank Hispanics because they were the first ones who really built LA and built Southern California. He said something to that effect. Well, the Hispanics were in Southern California and LA first. Boy, do you know your history? Do you know your damn history? If you think that. Let's do some history. We're going to do a little history tonight. For somebody to come out their mouth and say some dumb shit like that, because you got a lot of people who don't know their own history and they expect us to not know. But I'm a historian, so I know. Let's be very clear. Where I live in LA, this city was founded by black people. You understand me? This city was founded by black people. Let's go back. Let's do a history lesson about California and SoCal. Let's do a real quick history lesson. Number one, Moors were coming over here anyway. You had the native people like the Mojave Indians, Ohlone Indians, they look like an African tribe anyway. We can go back that far and show you the Africanoid-looking presence here. But let's skip forward. When the Spanish got here, and remember the Spanish, they were led here by the Moors. When the Spanish got to this land, The Spanish had people like Estevanico, who was a Moor, people who were the guide, who would interact with the Native American people here. So you had black people interacting with the Native Americans. Because white people, if you were a pale-skinned white person, you couldn't come around Native Americans like that. They'd kill your ass. So this is why you always saw them having a black guide. Even the Lewis and Clark expedition, they had a brother named York with them, a black dude. They would always have to have a black guide with them. Because the Native Americans, really, most of them, they were dark-skinned. They were my color. Most Native Americans were damn near jet black back in the day. This pale motherfucker that you see, they didn't look like that. The pale Native American, that shit did not exist. That's why they called them tree niggas. But when the Spanish got to this area, which is now California, they named it California after a mythological black woman. That's a name that's from a novel in Spain, based on tales and fables that the Moors were talking about all their travels. California is named after the mythological black queen, Califia. And that's also an Islamic word, by the way, and the Moors were Islamic when they were in Spain. All right, this is real history here. Now let's get back to LA. When LA was founded, because remember, there were a lot of black people down in Mexico at the time and also over in this area. There was 44 people who came to the area that would later become LA. Half of them were black folks. There's a plaque downtown LA that specifies this. So they were the ones who came and created the first settlement. Shortly after they came, there was another black man named Francisco Reyes who was down in Mexico. Remember, there was a lot of black people down in Mexico at the time. Francisco Reyes came, and he became one of the first black mayors here. He was in an area, he got a land grant from Spain because he was working with the Spanish army down there. He got a land grant to settle what's known as the San Fernando Valley area. There's streets named after him, Reyes Adobe's Road. Okay, follow me on this. While I'm talking, let me try to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something while I'm talking so y'all can follow me as far as history. Hold on. Okay, let me try to find a picture of his granddaughter, because back then, let me show y'all something. Of Francisco Reyes. I want to show y'all something. Where is this? Francisco Reyes. Remember, they got I've seen some images of what could possibly be him from the late 1700s, early 1800s, but remember, they didn't have photographs back then. Y'all follow me on this. I want y'all getting a real history lesson today about Los Angeles. This is my city. Let me show you something. But they didn't have cameras when Francisco Reyes was around. But he has a granddaughter. His great-granddaughter, as a matter of fact. He has a great-granddaughter. Her name is Refugio Reyes de Roberts. Okay? And she was around in the 1800s. Okay, she was around in the 1800s. This is an image of her. Now, you can see the black bloodline there. This is his granddaughter. This is Refugio Reyes. Her name is Refugio Reyes. Now, you can clearly see this is a light-skinned black woman. All right? This is a light-skinned. You can see the black features in her face. Okay? Now, her great-granddad was one of the founders of LA. Now, they don't tell you this. They try to pass him off as just Hispanic. All right? Yeah? Giving you a history lesson here. That's Refugio Reyes. She's the great-granddaughter of Francisco Reyes, the brother who was one of the founding fathers of LA. the lips, that nose, the whole shebang. Pio Pico Boulevard, he was all clicked in with those dudes. Pio Pico was a man of African descent. You can see the African bloodline in him. There were other black people who came here who were enslaved, and then when they came here, they became free. You had Miss Biddy Mason, the legendary Biddy Mason, the woman who was formerly enslaved and became a very wealthy landowner out here. There was another black man named Robert Owens. Around the same time, Biddy Mason and Pio Pico and all these people out here, another black man who was enslaved. Black folks were coming out of slavery. I mean, you got black folks who were enslaved, getting out of slavery and becoming millionaires. They don't like telling you this. They don't like telling you all these black millionaires who were enslaved, got the hell out of slavery and came out here and started just taking off. Robert Owens, look him up. A very wealthy black man out here in LA. One of the richest black people, not black people, people out here during the 1800s. Robert Owens. So we're letting you know the history. It was black people out here putting it down in LA. Initially. It was black people laying the foundation out here. It was black people doing that. But let's go even deeper. We can go deeper than that. Let's go deeper. Look at Mexico. Yeah, this is our land. Let's keep it real. This is our land. When somebody try to say, well, the Hispanics, no. Let's be very clear. We don't owe nobody a goddamn thing. Because we were out here putting in the work. Black folks were out here putting in the damn work. We came from zero. We got black folks like Biddy Mason, Robert Owens coming out of fucking slavery, coming out of here running, getting land, politicking, stacking up their paper. You understand? Black folks was getting it. And we didn't have no way. We came from slavery. We had one choice, ball or fall. Wasn't go home and regroup. Wasn't, no. Home was in some fucking chains. That was home for us. No, we gonna ball. We ain't got no choice. So we had the incentive to make shit pop off. You understand? But let's go back down to Mexico. And we know about people like Gaspar Yanger. They were the people, Gaspar Yanger was a black man out here beating the Spanish off the people down there. They got a big statue of Gaspar Yanger out there in Mexico today. The reason why Mexico got its independence from Spain is because of black people. Let's keep it a buck. And not just Mexico. Damn near all of these Hispanic countries that's in the Western Hemisphere, it was the black people getting the Spanish off your ass. Let me say that again. Damn near all of these Hispanic nations in the Western Hemisphere, it was black people getting the Spanish off your ass. Down in Mexico, people were under the rule of Spain. They were, oh, Spain is doing us wrong. They're doing us wrong. They're doing us wrong. It was black people who got Spain off the indigenous people there and the Mexican people there. One person in particular, Vicente Guerrero. He led Mexican independence. He was one of the leaders in the Mexican Independence War to get Spain off the Mexican people. A black man. And the thing about Vicente Guerrero, they lighten him up in portraits now. When they paint him, they make sure to make him lighter. But when you read all the descriptions of him by contemporaries, they commented on how black his ass was. This was a black dude. His nickname was the Negro, El Negro, the black. They went on and on about how black his ass was, but they made sure to lighten him up. Vicente Guerrero, the person who helped Mexico get independence and who became the president of Mexico, was a black ass man. He was the one who got the Spanish off of Mexico and helped Mexico become independent. And this is the thing. When Vicente Guerrero, the black man, got the Spanish white supremacists off the indigenous people, he stopped slavery down there. Because they had slavery in Mexico. Because Spain, they had the slave trade going, and you had white Mexicans down there who were slave owners. He stopped that. Vicente Guerrero was the one. It was a black man who stopped slavery. I had a Mexican dude one time. Man, it was Mexico. We stopped slavery. It was a black dude who did it, dude. Let's calm down. A black dude who did that. Now, when Vicente Guerrero became president, he didn't last long because he was empowering everybody. And what happened, you had a bunch of white supremacist Mexicans down there. You had white supremacist Mexicans down there who didn't want to see a black man in power like that because all the other black Afro-Mexicans down there, he was rising them up. He was treating everybody equally. He's like, we ain't going to have all this racism bullshit. No, everybody's going to get treated equally. Do you know them white supremacists down there in Mexico, they teamed up with some Italian mercenaries, and they killed that man. They got the president. They killed him because they didn't want to have this man rise up all the other black people down there. Them hating ass, after he done got Spain off of them, they didn't want to see a black man in power like that. So they flipped on this dude and had him killed. And the same dynamic happens now. Whenever we help people, we help build them up, we help make them independent, we help make them strong, and then they turn on our ass. They did that to him. They turned on that brother after he elevated their ass. Shameful. That same ungrateful mentality is prevalent with a lot of these other groups when it comes to us. That's why we got to stop. We got to take the damn capes off. Y'all look up Vicente Guerrero's history. They didn't want no black man because they try to make him all light-skinned. No, he was black and they hated the fact that he was black. They wanted the Spanish up off of him, but they hated the fact that a black man had to do it. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm glad he did it, but he's black. We got to get rid of him too. Same thing over in the Dominican Republic. Remember, in the Dominican Republic, who helped get them independent? It was Dessalines and Toussaint. It was the Haitians. The Haitians got the Spanish off the damn Dominicans. It was the Haitians who got the Spanish up out of there. The Spanish got whooped by them brothers. And the damn Dominicans, what did they do? They wanted to get recolonized by the Spanish. So that's what happened. They got recolonized. You dig? They got recolonized by the Spanish because it's in here because with the Spanish, and Neely Fuller talked about this. Yeah, the Haitians ran all of them out. They're like, look, all of them, I'll help y'all too. And not the Haitians, they were helping a lot of those Spanish-speaking countries. They're like, look, we just got Spain off our ass. We can go get them off you too. And that's what they did. Haiti was going to these other nations helping them. The Haitians were going to these other nations helping them, especially these Spanish-speaking nations. They were coming to Haiti like, damn, y'all beat all them? Yeah, man. We'll help you. Dessalines, and look, I give you a boat. I give you some guns. Hey, let's get this thing popping. And with the Dominicans, they wanted the Spanish back on them. And Neely Fuller talked about this, how the Spanish conquerors, one thing that they did, they claim the children from the women they raped. Whereas the British and the French, they don't claim the children. The British and the French, they don't claim their black children, generally. They'll go rape a whole village of black people. They'll have these black kids and they act like they don't know who they are. Spanish people, one thing that, because the Spanish in Spain, they were used to having black family members because of the Moors. So the Spanish, even though they were conquerors, they would have kids with the women that they conquered, and then they would claim them. Oh, that's my little nephew right here. That's my little negro. That's my little morena. That's my little black nephew over there. So they claim their relatives. This is why black Spanish people, black Hispanic, they call themselves Spanish. You understand? Well, the French did to a certain degree. Yes, they did. Now, I'm glad you brought that up. That is true. The French did to a certain degree, and I'm glad you corrected me on that, because with the Creole thing. Yes, and that's true to a certain degree. They had the caste system. So the French would be like, okay, yeah, that's my little Creole niece. That's my little Creole daughter. So yeah, that is true. That is true. The French did with the Creole. That is true. I'm glad that's true. And notice how proud Creole niggas are of being Creole. You notice niggas be bragging about being Creole. Basically, I'm bragging about being raped by a Frenchman. And just like Spanish, Hispanic Negroes. Hey, brother, no, I'm not black. I Spanish. But, nigga, you look like Wesley Snipes. I Spanish. It's not he's mixed. He's Spanish because some Spanish relatives claimed him. So this motherfucker thinks he's Spanish in his mind. So he thinks he's different, even though they treat him differently within the culture in these Hispanic countries. So just like in the Dominican Republic, psychologically, they were like, I look like a lot of these Haitians. I'm black like them, but up here, I Spanish. In my mind, I Spanish. I negra here, but it's a suntan. I got a suntan. In my mind, I Spanish. So when Dessalines and all these dudes ran the Spanish off, they were like, that's my brother. That is my uncle. That is my papi. You ran away my papi. You ran away my white daddy. So in that coon's mind, you had a bunch of Spanish-speaking coons, you done ran off his family. In his mind, he has a connection to them. I want him to come back. Come back. So they're fine living in subjugation. They're fine, as long as they can feel like family. And that's the problem. In a lot of these Spanish-speaking countries, they're fine being subjugated as long as they feel like family. As long as ain't no niggas running them. You know? Take a look at Sammy fucking Sosa, okay? And tell me where you think his mind is. Take a good look at Sammy Sosa, and that'll let you know everything you need to know about the Dominican, all right? Let's look at him and see where his mind is. And also remember, when, same thing in Haiti, when Dessalines and all these people got the French up out of there, that mulatto Creole, the mulatto Creole niggas who my mama is French. No, my daddy is French. Why he run my daddy out of here? They kill. So now you feel a certain way that they done ran your daddy up out of there. But you a Negro, but you Creole, and them say they did the same thing as they did to Vicente Guerrero that they did Dessalines the same way. The mulattoes killed Dessalines up there in Haiti. It's the mulattoes that killed Dessalines. Sold them out. That's why Haiti's in the situation they're in now. They sold them out. Yep, them French mulattoes killed Dessalines. Same thing. That mulatto coon class. So that's the thing. When black folks will fight for folks, and then we all brothers, we all this, and then these Negroes and some of these other groups who have such an allegiance to the oppressor class, they'll kill us in an act of revenge. You know? Man. So we got to understand history here. We got to understand history. And speaking of the Dominican Republic, that's when black folks need to stay the hell up out of there. Because people are dying left and right. All these black tourists, and even a couple of white tourists died. Heard they got some, they drinking something over there, some kind of crazy ass drink over there that they're drinking. And people are dying from. Yeah? But, anyway. Now, let's get to what we're talking about, the main topic on today's broadcast. This is a long show tonight. We're here. We're here. Today's show, family. Yeah, Alexandra Dumas was black, absolutely. On today's show, we're talking about Dickzilla. Now, what the hell is Dickzilla? Some of y'all might be asking. I went to see Godzilla yesterday, the Godzilla movie with my children, and they liked it. One thing I noticed about Godzilla, it was some very interesting things in there. Understand, movies, the white supremacists, they make movies and they send messages in their movies. I look at certain things they say in the dialogue. Have y'all seen the new Godzilla movie? We're gonna get deep tonight. We've been getting deep already, but we're gonna get deeper tonight. So yeah, we're heavy in here. We're almost 6,000 people. We're heavy. By the way, go to hiddencolorsfilm.com, go to tangibles2020.com, go to melanoidnation.org, go to all this stuff. But watching the Godzilla movie, and they had all these different monsters and stuff, and you know, the kids loved it, you know. And there was some dialogue in there. There was a white woman in there. She started talking about the planet. And whenever in these movies, they start talking about humans are the problem, what they mean are white supremacists. Always understand that. When they start talking about humans are the problem, what they mean are white supremacists. So in the movie, so understand that. Whenever they say something about humans, that's who they mean. In the movie, they were talking about Godzilla and all these monsters coming up from the bottom of the earth and all this stuff and reclaiming the planet, getting rid of the virus. And they were having this dialogue about, well, there's overpopulation and there's this. And we humans, we've become the virus. So these creatures are coming back to really reclaim the earth because we're the infection. I thought that was heavy. That was heavy. Y'all listen to what these folks are saying. They're talking about white supremacy. They understand white supremacy. Look, they understand themselves more than anything. White supremacy is a virus. White supremacy is a virus. And they were talking about how these things, these creatures are coming up from underground, reclaiming the earth. Because they know they were the original inhabitants. And white supremacists, they understand nature. They understand that they have a fight against nature. The white supremacists understand their battle is with nature. And that's why it's always with us, because we are nature. We are nature. We're the indigenous people on the planet. This is why they're always trying to conquer mountains. And you go up to the Himalayan mountains, and there's a bunch of frozen, dead-ass white people up there. They found some dead white people this week in one of them mountains. They went up there and a bunch of frozen-ass white people, white woman in the snow with a frozen Kit Kat bar in her fucking hand. This craziest cat shit. But all that, there is no overpopulation. That's bullshit. Ain't no overpopulation. There's plenty of land, plenty of resources on this planet. There's no overpopulation. Don't let nobody run that game on you. You drive through America, you see all types of tracts of land. There's no overpopulation. That is a lie. There's an overpopulation of black people. Be clear. When they say there's an overpopulation, they means there's too many niggas on the planet. That's what they mean. There's an overpopulation of black people. So, in this movie, they're talking about, yeah, we humans, we're a virus. We're the problem. We're the ones causing all the pollution. It's us humans. We're the problem. And they're coming back to claim, the earth. So that's telling the white supremacists to be real. Understand, you ain't really, as a white supremacist, you're not supposed to be here, but we're going to try to force our will here. And I'm looking at the movie, and one thing I noticed about Godzilla, in this movie in particular, Godzilla, they made him look like a big giant dick. He looked like a giant black penis. He looked like a giant penis. And many of these monster movies, these monster disaster invasion movies, if you notice, the threat is always a big black phallic creature. Let's go into Dr. Welsing. She talked about how the biggest threat to white supremacy is black male genitalia. Black male genitalia, that's one of the biggest threats to white supremacy because that can cause white genetic annihilation. So the black man's penis, because black sex is usually initiated through black male genitalia. So black penis, black sperm becomes the threat. This is Dr. Welsing. Let's break this thing down. Black penis has always been a subconscious threat because that can cause genetic annihilation. The white supremacists, they got all types of missiles, guns, billions of dollars in military spending in order to point at non-white people to threaten them. A black man can use his penis and wipe out the white supremacist society through the act of sex. And they know that. Dr. Welsing was the first person to eloquently break that down. So in the back of the white supremacist mind, the black phallic symbol, that's always a threat. And that's reflective in their movies and everything else. In HC5, we're going to break that down too. But look at movies and look at some of the time frames in which movies come about. During the early Jim Crow era, you had people like H.P. Lovecraft. He came up with a creature, Cthulhu. And Cthulhu was this big black octopus character that was in the water that had these tentacles grabbing people. It was this big old terror. And H.P. Lovecraft was a known white supremacist. He was very open with his anti-black views. Look at some of the stories and the books that were popular around that time. Moby Dick, about a big whale. And they made the whale white. So they're trying to project something on, because there ain't no white whales, by the way, that I know of. But there's this big white whale named Moby Dick that was a threat. So they're trying to project something onto this whale. Yeah, there's crickets in here somewhere. But in the 1930s, they had King Kong. They had King Kong, and King Kong, everything about him was symbolic of the black phallic symbol, Kong, Dong, them going over to this exotic black land. And in the early King Kong movie in 1930, the natives, they had them black. And they make sure that it's a white woman with blonde hair who's the person who's the interest of King Kong. Whenever you look at all the King Kong remakes, the white woman has to be blonde. And they have to have her wearing white. And that at the time, Jack Johnson was the heavyweight champion, and that was reflective of them having to make King Kong symbolic of Jack Johnson, this big old threat, this big old beast, and Jack Johnson out here banging all these white women. So subconsciously, they were projecting this image onto the movies. So they've always had this thing about the black phallic symbol, the black male genitals. Whenever black men were lynched, the first thing they would do was cut off the black man's penis. Lying about a black man is going to rape a white woman. This whole thing, black men raping white women, black men raping white women. And understand what they mean by rape. Sex with a white woman, even if it's consensual, they look at that as rape. A black man having sex with a white woman, even if it's consensual, even if the white woman is throwing herself on the black man, they look at that as rape because they look at that as an act of war. Rape is war to a certain degree. Rape is war. So the white supremacists look at any sex act a black man is having with a white woman as rape because he's committing warfare by using his black genitalia to induce black sperm, which could have black offspring, which will essentially kill off the white bloodline. You understand? They are obsessed with black penises. The white supremacists are completely obsessed with that. Recently, when one of these white supremacists who was down at that school, the Parkland, Florida school that got shot up, the right wing, they got one of those students, and they've kind of coddled him and made him one of their little representatives and mascots, and he got accepted to Harvard, and they rescinded the exception because the invitation, because they found out this guy made a whole bunch of racist posts online. And one of the posts he made, he was typing nigger this, nigger that, and he was talking about the girls at the school having sex with niggas. Oh, I bet she's fucking one of those nigger jocks. They're very obsessed with who white women are having sex with if it's the black person. I remember Howard Stern, every time a white woman comes on his show, he asks her if has she ever had sex with a black man? They're very obsessed with white women having sex with black men. White women who have sex with black men, they're very obsessed with knowing that. When a black man walks in the room, we become Dickzilla. We become a threat. If you are a heterosexual black male between the ages of 12 and 60, the white supremacists view you as a subconscious threat. Because 12 years old, that's when you start producing sperm. 60 is when your sexual libido has probably gone all the way down by then. This is why black men within the 12 and 60 age range are the main ones who get shot by race soldiers. They start them off as 12. Tamir Rice, they start killing us at around 12. What you got? You got Baskin Robbins? Okay, put it in the freezer. And, yeah, put my stuff in the freezer. Not my taco though. Don't put my taco in there though.
Taco? Oh.
Don't put it in. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But heterosexual black men, listen to what I'm saying. Heterosexual, and the key word is heterosexual, between 12 and 60 are a threat. The only way you're not a threat within that age range is if you're not heterosexual. If you're not heterosexual, they don't view you as much of a threat. You're still a threat to a certain degree, but not as much. I give you an example of acceptable black people. When they had the reparations hearing, Emmett Till, got killed at 14. When they had the reparations hearing, I want y'all to notice something. Look at all the black men who spoke. Look at all the black men who spoke. They were between that age range. Listen to what I'm saying. The black men who spoke at that reparations hearing, if they were younger they had questionable sexual backgrounds or they were older. That football player, former football player, he's older. Danny Glover is old. That old coon minister they had, he's old. But the younger guys, who were the young ones? Corey Bussey, that Coleman Hughes Cruz, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I don't know too much about Ta-Nehisi Coates' background. Is Ta-Nehisi Coates married? Not to disparage Ta-Nehisi Coates. I ain't got no problem with him. I don't like that whole thing where they were up there talking about we don't need no check. I got a real problem as far as that. Is Ta-Nehisi Coates married to a woman? Think about that. A lot of folks didn't catch that. I ain't never seen Ta-Nehisi Coates with no woman. I don't know, though. You feel me? That's what they like. He is okay. He wrote gay comics, yeah. And also, I heard he was trying to put gay characters in the Black Panther movie or something. All right. All right. Now, I've heard people kind of question my dude, Ta-Nehisi. I've heard people look at him like, okay, what's going on with, The point is, people have questionable sexual backgrounds. Now, according to Cory Booker, he's with Rosario Dawson, according to him. All right, so, but these dudes, their backgrounds, their sexual backgrounds are a little questionable, okay? Okay? His wife, okay, all right. Okay. Their background's a little questionable, all right? All right, well, I just put it there. I put it there. But again, y'all get my point. So, when black men walk in a room, if you're a heterosexual black man, they project their Dickzilla fear onto you. Let's break down Godzilla with this mindset. Let's break down Godzilla. Let's break Godzilla down. The monster, the character of Godzilla. Godzilla, the creature, was created in Japan. Godzilla was created, I think, in 1954 in Japan. Godzilla was created by the Japanese right after World War II. Understand, a lot of cultural things are in some of these iconic artistic endeavors. But Godzilla was created after World War II. And remember, the Japanese, they were allied with the Nazis. Do y'all know that? So a lot of the Nazi ideology, that you think that didn't soak into Japanese culture? White racial purity? You think some of that Nazi ideology didn't soak in with the Japanese? They were clicked in. Yeah. We'll get on that atomic bomb thing in a minute. Yeah. Say it's a metaphor for the atomic bomb. Oh, okay. But let's look. And that's why, he was had atomic powers and all that stuff. But look, Godzilla was supposed to be a gorilla at first. Do you know that? Godzilla was supposed to be a gorilla. And it was supposed to be a cross between a gorilla and a whale. The word gorilla and Kujira, they kind of meshed it together and came up with Gorja. And that's what Godzilla, that's why the name and all that stuff comes from. But it was supposed to be a gorilla, so it was supposed to be a gorilla and a whale and all this stuff. So yeah, they had genetics on the mind. They had genetics on the mind. Remember, they were soaking in. Yeah, he's the Japanese King Kong, basically. And so it was supposed to be a gorilla. And, Godzilla's coming, a big black phallic symbol with the tail. And Gorgia means gorilla whale. Yeah. All right? And this big phallic threat taking over society. So some people say, is it a dinosaur? Is it a lizard? What the hell exactly is Godzilla? It's just a big old creature that spews out these atomic blasts, which can be construed as sperm. Sperm is electrified. Godzilla spews a big phallic symbol that destroys the city with these atomic blasts, these atomic rays from its mouth. You understand? That's electrified sperm. Sperm is electrified. It's a reptile. You dig? Why would the Japanese be worried about a black man? Well, the thing is, they were clicked in with the Nazis, and understand. You say, why are they worried about a black man? Google Nazi chic right now. Google Nazi chic. Those are a bunch of people over there in Japan and other parts of Asia who wear Nazi memorabilia. They wear Nazi clothing. They wear Nazi clothing. Do y'all understand me? Why would the Japanese be threatened by black people? Let me tell you something. When Peter Liang killed Akai Gurley, did you see all the Asian people get together? Akai Gurley became Dickzilla. And they had to protect one of their own against another Dickzilla. That's why they all got together to protect Peter Liang against Dickzilla. Because we got to make a point to not have another Dickzilla. No, you better believe I'm reaching. I'm going to keep on reaching. I'm going to keep reaching with this truth. Yeah? Well, the Japanese will drop everything. If they're threatened by one black person, even if the black person is dead, Akai Gurley is dead, and all the Asians around the country got together to make sure that one of their own was protected from this dead black guy, Dickzilla. They made sure they rallied around that threat real quick. They rallied around real quick. They understand threats. Yeah, the Nazis considered the Japanese honorary Aryans, I'm sorry. Honorary Aryans. Yeah, the Germans taught them electronic technologies. They got a lot of electronic technologies from them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Asians, let me tell you something. If you go to Asia and try to cupcake with an Asian woman, not Asia, but go to Japan and go out there and try to cupcake with a Japanese woman. There's a reason why Jared Taylor was out there in Japan. Man, please. When it comes to the white supremacists, they'll show their allegiance at the end of the day if push comes to shove. And they have the same thing as far as the reason why the Nazis liked them is because they were very particular about their racial purity in Japan. They were very particular about keeping the racial purity there. That's why do you think so many people in the alt-right are getting those Japanese women? Even now, Richard Spencer dated a whole bunch of them. There's a reason why. Okay, so you've been to Tokyo, there's Japanese-only signs. Yeah, they all about their racial purity. And the biggest threat to anybody's racial purity, black men. Yeah, and their populations are decreasing over there too. Y'all better listen. It ain't just the white supremacist birth rates that's slowing down. It's not just the white supremacist birth rates that are slowing down. Over there in Japan too, in certain parts of Asia, those birth rates are slowing down too. You dig? Those geishas are painted white, real shit. But understand, young black men, a black man who's in a sexual prime, if you're heterosexual, you're automatically looked at as Dickzilla. You're looked at, when you walk in the room, the white supremacists and the other people, they have penis on the brain, black dick on the brain, when you walk in the room. Now, y'all remember the whole situation the other day with LeVar Ball being on that ESPN show, and that white woman, Molly, on there. And ESPN said that LeVar Ball was inappropriate and they're not going to have him on again. They treated him like Dickzilla because they project their sexual fears onto us. And I want y'all to look at this, and I have zero respect for Molly because she went and did an interview talking about she was hoping that he would apologize publicly. So she's on code with these white supremacists doing this racial bullshit that they pulled. I have zero respect for it, and I have zero respect for her. LeVar Ball made a comment about what she said, well, let's shift gears. And he's like, I'll shift gears with you anytime. You can shift gears with me anytime. There was nothing sexual about that. But she saw Dickzilla in her mind. Now let me play this. I played this before. And also on my social media, I put up a clip where they had the same exchange. She said that before. She said, LeVar, can I shift gears with you? He was like, yeah, shift them. And he did the same hand gesture, so it's nothing. You dig? Where is this? Okay. Look at this. All right. Now look at this.
Don't be rude. I am saying to you that you didn't have to come out with that statement like that towards the kids. If you can't afford it, you ain't a big boss. That was very rude.
That's
it was
not
very
to the
rude.
kids.
All right,
The
it was
parents
to the
got to get
parents.
that. You already know.
Can we switch gears here? All right, so
Okay. You saw that. Real innocent. Can we switch
after
gears?
this year, the Lakers need LeBron.
Okay. Real innocent. Can we switch gears? Okay, now this is the one I played the other day, but look at it again.
Go ahead
LeVar,
before I
have
get
a
back to him.
LeVar, can I switch gears with you because I have a question
You
here.
can switch gears with me anytime.
Let's stay focused
Lord.
here.
Go ahead.
All right. Can you please explain to me what the biggest...
Okay. Now, he said the same comment. Well, she said the same comment. Now, it was a nothing. It's nothing. Somebody said she's West Asian. That woman's white. Just stop it. The fuck y'all talking about? She ain't in West Asia. Let's stop it. She's white. She's not in West Asia. She's here. Here you white. Wherever you from, you something else. Over here, you're white. Well, they're Middle Eastern. You ain't in the Middle East. She Persian. She ain't in Persia. When Persians get here, they're white. The fuck you mentioned in geography don't mean nothing. White supremacy ain't based on geography. Dude, she white over here. Fuck you talking about Persia. Persians are white when they get here. West Asians get here, they're white. That's something that they try to run a game on you, and some of y'all Negroes try to fall for that, especially bedwenches, when they try to go date a white dude and then try to play it off. Yeah, I'm dating this guy. He ain't white, he Italian. Have you heard that dumbass bullshit? You better stop playing like Italy ain't in Europe. When they get over here, they white. That whole denial of whiteness game that y'all try to play, ain't nobody falling for that. When she brings her ass here, she white, and that woman is white. And they take on the ideologies and the rules and the codes and the anti-black slickness of other white supremacists. And I don't give a damn if she's married to a Negro. Those are some of the worst ones. Yeah, I know that's Jalen Rose's chick, but yeah, she's still slick. They still play their white card, though. That don't mean anything. They still know they get benefits and privileges from being white. I don't give a damn if she's married to a Negro. They still get benefits and privileges from being white, and they know they do. I don't give... When y'all point to me that somebody's married or dating a fucking a black person, first thing I want to know, okay, when they stop fucking that black person, what did the white person get up and do to replace the system of white supremacy with justice? That's all I want to know. When you get through banging that Negro, did you replace the system, or did you even try to replace the system of white supremacy with justice? And if you have not, and you're perpetuating white supremacy, then you're just raping a victim of white supremacy. So I ain't impressed by that. And she don't get no pass. That was a sucker move for her to go with that narrative that he did something to her that was sexual when she had Dickzilla on the brain. Notice he was like, I'll switch gears with you anytime. Oh, God. Her eyes start fluttering. She had a black dick on her brain. She had a black dick on the mind. Oh, let's stay focused. No, you stay focused. This man up here talking about sports. You fluttering your eyes. And Stephen A. Coon, when he saw her, then that nigga, oh God, his eyes start bucking. Oh Lord Jesus. Come on, LeVar. Did you see Stephen immediately hop on the Coon train when he saw Molly fluttering and oh God. Oh no, the missus, you's gonna get us in trouble. Boy, Stephen is such a good Negro slave. He's such a good slave. Master, we sick? Missy? You's not looking too good surround your eyes. Is we sick? Stephen, you are the super cooningest nigga I've ever seen in my life. Stephen, let him hear this. Boy, when she started fluttering in them eyes, oh Lord, you's done troubled the missus. Because Stephen, he knows those racist bastards up there at ESPN will let his ass go at the drop of a hat. This nigga, no. Let me play the with Steve. Just look at Stephen, boy. Stephen got on that. The minute she started fluttering her eyes when she got dick on the brain, boy, Stephen, oh Lord, he started bucking his eyes. Oh, come on, Lord Jesus. Look at Stephen's ass. Good Lord. Oh, God, Stephen.
Switch gears with you because I have a question here.
You can switch gears with me anytime.
Let's stay focused here. All right.
Look at Stephen.
Explain to me
oh, Lord Jesus. Have mercy, Jesus. Lord, hallelujah. Let me play another clip of her again. This is Molly again. And this is kind of her thing. She'll make some kind of sexual innuendo and then act all coy about it. Now look at this. Look at this.
Can I fantasize for a second after this Kyrie Irving news? Okay, so we got
Jalen Rose.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think you would like him.
You guys just pull it together.
I ain't say you guys. I ain't say nothing. I had nothing to do with
Can we
that.
talk about the Knicks?
And Stephen, boy, he Stephen is so quick. Oh, Eyes ain't say nothing. Eyes ain't got nothing to do with this. Oh, Lord Jesus, Eyes ain't said nothing. Stephen he understands the dynamic. Stephen ain't trying to have no parts of nothing. But you see, this is her thing. This is her thing of making these little sexual innuendos around black men. Can I fantasize for a minute? She knows what she's saying. She's making these little sexual innuendos. And then when they respond to it, oh, come on. Can we focus? Can you guys pull it together? Come on.
Can I fantasize for a second after this Kyrie Irving news? Okay, so we got
Jalen Rose.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think you would like him.
You guys just pull it together.
And the white guy, he was like, what, you fantasizing about what, him? Or I think you would like it. Now, notice they didn't reprimand him. They didn't reprimand the white guy. If we're going to say what LeVar said was inappropriate, ain't what he's saying inappropriate too? They didn't really reprimand him. But this whole tired, oh my God. So that's her thing. That's her little thing. She makes these little sexual innuendos, and then when people repeat it, oh my God, my white pussy is in danger. Oh no. Stop. That's why, let me look. I told y'all recently, I don't get around folks in the dominant society with all that kakan and kikiing. I don't do that, and that's one of the reasons why. I don't get around them with all that giggling and yucking it up unless you're helping me replace the system of white supremacy with justice. I have no reason to be around you, Kakan and Kikin, because that's what happens. Y'all get comfortable around these folks. You get too comfortable, and then they flip on you. Oh, wow, well, you raised your voice, and you scared me, and I feel like you just raped my ears. Then they start using that I'm white and I say so garbage on you, just like they tried to do to LeVar Ball. And what the problem with LeVar Ball is an uppity Negro to them, because LeVar Ball, and I'm proud of the fact that he's like, I say what I want to say, do what I want to do. I'm not beholden to him. And he even did an interview basically saying, look, they can't ban me. I don't work for them. I don't need them. Much respect to that brother. But the fact that they look at him and they got a problem with him. They got a problem with him because he's not on the team. His sons are, but he goes around saying what he wants to say. And they tried to do that whole thing with another white woman on the show, on one of those ESPN shows, one of those sports shows, where she tried to play the victim around him. When he told her to stay on your lane, oh, she tried to give rape eyes. Oh my God, am I being raped? Stay in my lane. Isn't this some kind of rape or something? She had the rape eyes. Oh, the nigga just raped me eyes. Oh my God, Dickzilla just told me to stay in my lane. Oh God. So they tried to use that before. So when he's in there, stay in your lane, white woman. So he's being an uppity Negro. Just the fact that he's in there saying what he wants to say and he's unapologetic, that's a threat right there. That's rape. That's Dickzilla. You dig? These sports outlets, especially ESPN, notice they like a certain type of Negro. These sports shows and sports teams, they are run by straight up and down white supremacists who are extremely insecure because they have all the money in the world, yet their male employees are the most desired. So these black men are running in and out. The white women are lusting over them. They get the pick of the litter of all the white women. So that's a problem. So they like the fact that these Negroes can make them money on the field. So they love to control them off field. So whenever they have Negroes on these sports shows, look who they have. Look who the main people are. Steven, Jason Whitlock, a big old juicy coon. They love having their plantation coons there around. Donald Sterling, you know who he likes to have his Negroes around. But the thing is, with LeVar Ball, he's an uppity Negro to them. They don't like an uppity. They always want to put an uppity Negro in his place. If he gets a little too arrogant. So that was them using "I'm white and I say so" to put LeVar Ball in his place, or try to. Same thing that's going on with Cam Newton. Now, there's a video circulating around, and I talked about this earlier. When Cam Newton was on a flight, and he wanted to buy a man's seat. Now, they were in the same class. They were in the same class, but some reason, you know, I don't think this was first class. I don't think it was, but the man, it was a white man that Cam Newton was going to give $1,500 to, just to exchange seats, because the man was sitting in the front row and there was more leg room. So Cam was going to get a man $1,500 to switch seats, and the guy said no. So this story became kind of a thing. Let me play the video of it real quick. I don't think you can hear anything. Hold on, but you can see the exchange. So he wanted more leg room. Hold on, where is it? Okay. This is it right here. Okay. Okay. Let's see if y'all can see this. Yeah, that looks like Coach somewhere. Okay, so this looked like it was Coach. So some people were trying to make it seem like the guy, well, the white man might have paid for first class. No, it looked like they were all in Coach. Just the white guy had more leg room, and Cam was like, well, shit, I need leg room. Let's exchange. And I broke this down. I said, well, this was an insult to the man's whiteness. And the white supremacists all jumped in. Oh, this ain't about race. Oh, now, whenever they get that triggered, talking about something ain't about race, it's about race. Because then when you look at some of the white supremacist websites, they were like, look at this uppity nigga. He got put in his place. Yeah, money can't buy everything, nigga. I'm looking, because I study all these little white supremacist websites. But let me break that down. Because Cam Newton, they always look at him as the uppity nigga. He looked like he was in business class. You know, sometimes they overbook flights or whatever. But this is circulating around, and the white supremacists are kind of getting off on it because that was them putting Cam in his place. It's always all about race with you goddamn white supremacists, and you know it. And they like the fact that a white man turned down his money. Like, I don't need your money. The white supremacists like that. That's all about race. And the white supremacists, they're always like that when it comes to traveling with black people. They've always had this thing about black people being in their place when they're traveling with them. Especially with a person like Cam Newton, because they always think that he's an arrogant, uppity Negro. So they want to put him in his place. But when it comes to transportation, and I did a whole thread breaking this down, the white supremacists, they've always had a thing about us being in our place when we're traveling with them, when we're in their travel spaces. Because in traveling spaces, the white supremacists are pretty vulnerable. Because white supremacy is based and it's protected by military force, and the military comes in the form of police for the white supremacists. That's the most convenient form of military protection. And that's another thing, black folks. The police protect the white privileges and benefits of the white supremacists. This is why they will never, never, never go against the police. This is why they are perfectly fine with police blowing your brains out. When we run around here yelling to them, please help us stop police brutality, they're like, well, just comply. They have no problem with police blowing your brains out. That's what they want them to do. That's why I don't use the term police brutality or crime reform or police reform. It's the dominant white supremacist society that's instructing them to blow our brains out. They're complicit because they're the ones who get on these grand juries and say, yeah, you did the right thing. They're the ones who get in the prosecution's chamber and say, yeah, you did the right thing. They're the ones who get in these courtrooms and say, yeah, you did the right thing. They're the ones running around talking about Blue Lives Matter. They want them to do that. They understand that white privilege and benefits and white supremacy is protected by force. They know that it's backed up by muscle. That's why they keep calling the police on us for any damn reason. They like that privilege. That's a privilege that we don't have. That's why they get hypersensitive whenever black folks stand up to the police. When we stand up to the police, all of a sudden they come out there yelling, hey, we all in this together. Hey, let's not do all that now. Come on, let's all forgive and let's all pray. When we start standing up to the police, then they get nervous because they understand one thing. When our fear of the police goes out the window, it's a wrap for them. They understand that. So they protect police at all costs. They understand once we say, you know what, fuck this. I ain't scared of no damn. When a lot of us start saying that, they're like, oh shit. The police are the overseers protecting the plantation, and they know this. Now, when you are traveling, you don't have immediate access to your overseer. Or your overseers or your police protection is limited. Follow me. See, we understand, like, in a neighborhood, if a white supremacist does something and a black person steps to the white person, they're called the police. And if we step to the police, they're called the National Guard. And so then it's compounded. So they have a huge military force coming in. For example, Chris Brown doesn't live too far from me. Some random white woman called the police on Chris Brown and said he had a gun. They militarized this whole area. There were helicopters and cop cars swarming the area on one little dirty, funky, mayonnaise-encrusted white supremacist woman. And they didn't find no gun in the man's house. He didn't pull a gun on her. She lied. So the white supremacists like that kind of power to flex on us. They like that kind of power. So when they're in travel mode, you don't have that power as a white supremacist. You can't call all that backup if you're on a plane. You can't call all that backup, especially if you're on a boat. That's why, even on a train to a certain degree, you don't have that much backup on a train, especially if you're in the middle of nowhere. But places like planes and boats, they're very vulnerable when it comes to black people around. You understand? That's why them slave ships, and a lot of that came from the slave ships and them slave rebellions on them ships. Because if you're in the middle of the ocean, you ain't got no backup. And if them brothers get out them chains, which a lot of them did, they're bringing that thing to you when they come up there. So they've always been very conscious of that. That's why on the Titanic, they kept all the black people way on the bottom of the boat, by the way. But when you're in a plane with somebody, your white privileges are limited for a few hours at least. And if black people around, that brings anxiety to a certain degree. That brings anxiety. So they have to know that a black person is in their place. Just like, this is why they had those Jim Crow cars on the trains. They were very, very, very particular about the Jim Crow cars or the Jim Crow section on trains and buses. That's what the whole civil rights movement was about. Keeping black people, you're on a bus with black folks, so you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere and this bus breaks down or whatever, and you're on a boat or on a bus with these black folks. This is why they had to really just subjugate black folks on buses and trains. And they have to make sure that we are in subordinate positions around them when we travel with them. You understand? This is why, for example, when a black person is sitting in first class, because see, they don't mind, you know, a lot of times black folks, we get on the plane, we all the way in the back, you know, we get the worst seats or whatever. Not too many black folks get in first class. So we do, but not as many as the people who are in coach and truth be told, a lot of black folks don't be flying, period. Lately, when I travel, I don't see too many black people flying, period, and that's a problem. I've been on flights and I'm like the only black person in coach or first class. I'm the only black person on the plane. I'm like, what the fuck? How come we ain't traveling? I've been to places and it's just I've been to black majority cities and I go to the airport and there's nothing but white people. You understand? But if you're a black person, and I talked about this on social media, you get in first class. Notice if there's a white person sitting next to you, they do something with you that they don't do with other white people. White people, when they travel, they don't really interact with each other like that. They don't. They just kind of ignore each other. I've seen it. I've seen white people not say one word to each other while they're flying and traveling. It's, you know. But the minute they get around a black person, and y'all seen me film this shit on my social media, especially if you are in first class, you're a black person, you get in first class, the first thing they want to do, they sit next to you, they want to know what the fuck you do for a living. The minute white people get around black folks in first class, they want to know what the hell do you do for a living, because that's going to determine how they treat you to a certain degree. That's whenever they want to know what you do for a living, they want to know if they should treat you with a certain level of respect or not. Are you an important person? Should I show you a different level of respect than I show other niggas that I don't give a shit about? So should I treat you a little bit differently? Should I not be as rude to you? That's what they're asking you. When they ask you, what do you do? They got to know, how should I treat you? Did you win the lottery or something? Should I just treat you like a regular nigga or what? Or maybe my kids might know who you are. Are you Little Bootsy or somebody? Well, who are you? The white supremacists are so goddamn nosy. They want to know shit. They want to know. Why is this Negro sitting next to me? I need to feel better. I need to know, how did this nigga get to sit next to me? You don't ask a white person that. Okay, because in their mind, they're like, well, look, I'm a white supremacist. Me and my people, we've set up every barrier imaginable, so your ass don't have no money. How did you get to first class? I mean, that's what they're really asking, nigga. How did you? You must do something special. Yeah, you must do something special. Who are you? Are you Keith Sweat or somebody? Who are you? Yeah, they don't do that with other white people. Yeah, they use that to determine how they're going to treat you. Oh, the white women are the worst. They gotta know. Especially if you're on vacation. See, notice if you're a black person, and I talked about this before, you're a black person, you go somewhere nice, especially on vacation somewhere nice. I ain't talking about just ain't no Tom Joyner cruise or Jamaica. And Jamaica is nice, by the way, but Jamaica is very reasonable. Anyway, you can go. It don't cost that much money to go to Jamaica, but you go to somewhere like, that's a little expensive, and there's a bunch of white people there, especially from here. It bothers them that without them knowing. They gotta know. Or if you go on an expensive cruise somewhere, like a cruise, and it's not like, the Freaknik cruise or some shit. You go somewhere on an expensive cruise or an expensive vacation, or you staying in an expensive hotel, and you're the only black person there, you're the only black couple there, the white people will be all in your business. Hi, you two. Yeah, I saw you guys over there. Yeah, man. I saw you when you checked in. Have y'all had that? I've had that. I'm like, what? So this motherfucker's been watching me for days? Have y'all had that? They'll do that. I saw you when you checked in yesterday. Damn. Shit. Look, nigga, they'll tell you everything you did. Yeah, I saw you were getting some jerk chicken over there Monday, and you were getting a pina colada this morning. I saw that, and I saw you eating some eggs and some tilapia for breakfast. I saw you. Damn. God damn, they telling you everything you did. They've been watching your ass the whole time. I'm telling you, when you black, they be stalking your ass. They be stalking the shit out of you. Oh, yeah, okay. Shit. So where you from? Yeah, I'm from Memphis. Oh, okay. What do you do out there in Memphis? I do a little real estate. I do a little business. Oh, wow, okay. Boy, they all in your damn mix, boy. They watch your ass. They done stalk you around the whole hotel. They stalk your ass. I'm telling you a drug dealer. Man. They gotta know all your business, man. They're so nosy. Let me tell you, when you show up, I'm telling you, especially if you're the only black person there, they done talked about your ass all night. Him and his wife then sat up in their room talking about you. What do you think they do for a living? Trying to figure out who you are. Was that Mary J. Blige? She had a blonde weave. I think it's Mary J. No, let me Google. Let me see. I don't know. You know, they're having a whole conversation about you. Black people, I'm telling you, they are. That's why they know so much about your ass when they finally do talk to you. They didn't they're looking shit up. I mean, they're having whole conversations about you. Just your presence there, now they gotta know. Is he a football player? I mean, I don't know. He looks kind of burly around the shoulders, so he might be a fullback. Let me see. Let me look at the new draft picks because I've been watching the playoffs and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen them, so I don't know. So they're Googling. They're trying to figure out who you are. They're trying to figure out what you do. It's like a little game with them. It's like a little game of white supremacist Scrabble among each other. So they have little bets. I bet you he owns a fried chicken establishment. No, he looks like he might be an ambassador to Ghana. No, I'll find out tomorrow. I'll see him tomorrow. They go to the pool around noon, and I'll go see. I'll find out tomorrow. They're gonna find out. They're having bets on your ass. My God, they be scouting your ass out. I've had them, I swear to God, I've had people tell me, just random white people, I'm out here just chilling. Yeah, I saw you guys checking in yesterday, man. Boy, you got a big old family there, huh? Don't you? Okay. All right. Then, Lord, what I do, if they don't know who I am, I say real estate, something to kind of brush them off, because I so don't want to talk to you. I usually say something real boring. I do real estate, man, just do that. Something real boring to get them out my damn face. And then I go run off with the kids somewhere. No, I'm not about to sit up here with your ass. It is. But like I said, but when it comes to traveling, they always got to, especially on planes, they always got to put us in a place. They always got to, make sure we're subordinate to a certain degree. This is why they got this dress code thing. You know, they always kicking black folks off planes for minor reasons. There was a sister who got kicked off a plane a week or so ago because she got, I think it was Spirit Airline, one of them, either Spirit or Frontier, one of them airlines. She got on the plane and under her seat somebody vomited. So she wanted to, it's like, hey, I don't want to fly with vomit under me. Can somebody clean it up? And they got into an argument. They kicked the sister off the plane and arrested this woman. Nigga, they do stuff like that. There was a brother a few years ago. He got arrested for sagging pants. He was a college, I think it was a college football or basketball player. They said his pants were sagging and they got into it with him and arrested him. And, you know, they always do that to black folks. And that white man, you know, who runs around the country in lingerie, they don't say nothing to him. That white man getting bussy stains on all the airline seats. They don't say nothing to him. And, you know, getting at black folks because of dress codes, harassing black folks. And, nigga, and I posted this picture on my gram, on my social media. White people be coming on the plane all types of ways. White people be getting on planes, kicking their feet up all over the damn place. How many times have we seen this bullshit on a plane? You go to a plane, nigga, white people, and I know y'all listen, my white people listening. Y'all with y'all fucking feet. White people, you are the kings and queens of putting y'all feet all over the damn place. You get on a flight, they feet every fucking where. I've never seen black people on a plane with their feet up like this. Y'all be on the plane with your feet all on the headrest, your feet on the tray table, you're picking your toes, picking the crust off your heels. Y'all feet be all on people's seats. Y'all good for doing that shit. Putting y'all damn feet all over the place. And you know what? When people put their feet up, that's a body language message. When you put your feet up on stuff, that's a sign of invasion. That's an invasionary tactic, to put your feet on stuff. That's an invasionary tactic. When you put your feet all over people's shit, that's an invading. And body language people will tell you that. That's a way of showing dominance, like you've invaded somebody's space. You've claimed somebody's space by putting your feet up. That's a way of claiming space. Like what's mine is yours now. What's yours is mine. What's yours is mine, rather. I'm sorry. What's yours is mine. I'm claiming this by putting your feet up on it. That's a domineering, it's a dominance thing. That's a dominance thing. Yeah? Yeah, they do little shit like that, got their feet all up over the place. Your feet all over the place. In the minute of black, they do that in movie theaters too. They feet all over the place, staying up the theater, feet everywhere. And the minute a black person says something, oh man, this is scary. Shh. Shh. You're disturbing the movie. But motherfucker, move your feet. See how black folks be talking in the movies? Look at them. Come on, you're invading my space. Hey man, this is shh. Shh. Get your ass up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's very territorial. Yeah? Yeah, putting up feet all over every goddamn thing. Yeah, that's like marking your territory. Yeah? Man. But anyway. Yeah, let me get up out of here, guys. I've been on here. Shit. I done 3 hours with y'all ass tonight, man. We had a long run tonight. I done 3 hours with you tonight. We had a long, robust. We had some problems getting out the gate with the the stream earlier, but we had a good conversation. But anyway, let me get out of here, man. Y'all go to hiddencolorsfilm.com, hiddencolorsfilm.com, to get all the Hidden Colors DVDs, including 1804. Hidden Colors 5 is in theaters August 1st. If you're in LA, it's in theaters, well, in a theater, July 31st. Wednesday, July 31st, one day only. Everybody get your tickets, hiddencolorsfilm.com, hiddencolorsfilm.com, ladies and gentlemen. Also go to get this shirt at hiddencolorsfilm.com. Get this shirt at hiddencolorsfilm.com. Also, ladies and gentlemen, go to tariqelite.com to get the fresh gear. tariqelite.com to get the fresh fly gear. And y'all have a good night.